My name is Carolyn Robinson, and my mother, Judith Robinson, built a textile empire worth over £40 million. She built it from nothing, I'll give her that. Sheer will, relentless hours, a business brain that impressed everyone who encountered it. Judith Robinson was a force of nature in every room she entered. Every room except mine. I grew up in a 6-bedroom house in Cheshire, with a housekeeper named Pat who made my packed lunches, a driver named Gerald who took me to school, and a mother who occasionally appeared at breakfast like a visiting dignitary, pleasant, distracted, already somewhere else mentally before she'd finished her coffee. How was school, Caroline? Fine. Good, good. And she'd be gone, physically present for 30 more seconds, then a phone call, then a car, then nothing until the following Tuesday. I had everything. Expensive schools, riding lessons, a wardrobe that other girls envied, and an ache so deep and consistent that by the time I was 15, I'd stopped being able to identify it as loneliness. It had simply become the background noise of my life. So I found people who made it quieter. Wrong people find lonely children with remarkable efficiency. By 17, I was making decisions I won't detail here, not because I'm ashamed of the girl who made them, but because she deserves protection, not exhibition. What I'll say is this. I spent my 20s in the wreckage of my own choices, relationships that damaged me, substances that temporarily filled the silence, a revolving door of situations that each left me slightly less whole than before. Judith knew, vaguely, in the way that people know things they've decided not to look at directly. She sent money, always money, a deposit on a flat, a stint in a private rehabilitation facility that cost more per week than most people earn in a month. Money was Judith's love language, the only one she'd ever learned. I took it, and hated myself for needing it. By 32, I was sober, technically functional, and completely hollow. Living in a small flat in Manchester, working part-time in a garden centre, the only place that asked nothing of me emotionally, and mostly just existing. Then Judith's assistant rang. "Hello there. Your mother has been diagnosed with stage 3 cancer, Caroline. She's asking for you. Please try to come see her."
I sat with that phone call for 3 weeks before I responded. I felt something. It wasn't grief. It was something more complicated, a kind of exhausted fury that she got to choose me now, that £40 million and 40 years of absence later, she wanted a daughter, wanted closure, wanted me to come and hold her hand and make it mean something. I almost didn't go, but something shifted in me during those 3 weeks, something quiet and resolute. I went, but not the way she expected. Judith was smaller than I remembered. Hospital has a way of editing people down to their essential selves. She reached for my hand when I sat down. "Caroline, thank you for coming." I shrugged. I nearly didn't. She nodded slowly. I know. I took a big sigh and said, "I need you to hear something before we talk about anything else." I kept my voice level. "I'm not here to give you peace. I'm not here to tell you it was all right. It wasn't." Her eyes filled. "I know that too, my baby girl." I spent my 20s destroying myself because nobody taught me how not to. That was your job as my parent. You outsourced it. I thought providing money was enough. Money isn't presents, Mum. First time I'd called her that in years, it surprised us both. You can't invoice your way through motherhood. She was quiet for a long time. Then, "What can I do? Tell me what I can do." And here's where everything changed, because I'd prepared for this moment. Not with anger, with intention. Fund the center. What center? The one I'm building. I opened my bag and placed a folder on my bed. 12 months of planning I'd been doing quietly. A recovery and rehabilitation center for young women from affluent backgrounds who fell through the cracks, like I did. Girls who had everything, except the one thing that mattered. Judith read every page. When she looked up, something in her face had fundamentally rearranged itself. You did all this? Yes, and alone too. Caroline, I am so sorry, my child. I don't need your apology, Mum. I needed you at 9, at 13, at 17. I closed the folder gently. What I need now is the funding. Make it mean something. Make me mean something. Retroactively.
Judith, my mum, funded it entirely. The Robinson Centre opened 8 months later. She attended in a wheelchair, considerably diminished, considerably quieter. She died 4 months after opening day. I stood at her funeral, cried, and felt not warmth exactly, but something like resolution, because the little girl who grew up invisible in a 6-bedroom house in Cheshire, she built something that makes sure other girls don't disappear the same way. That's not forgiveness. That's not closure either. That's something rarer, a woman who took the wound her mother gave her and turned it into the most important thing she ever did. Judith Robinson built an empire. Caroline Robinson built something that actually lasts.